All right, today we're going to be doing a very special quest. This one is for Christina. She has asked it for just to clean up this picture. This cat is doing an amazing jump here, and she's got just a bit of a cluttered room. Now, I don't want any judgment here. This cluttered room is due to chronic illness and its significant impact on quality of life. And we are not here to highlight messes. We are here to highlight how awesome this cat is. So, this is also a little special just to my heart because I am a chronic illness warrior myself, so this one really reached out to me. I'm going to be doing some general cleanup on the carpet here just to make it look a little more congruent, filling in some of the shelf lines and stuff like that so that it looks as congruent as possible, making sure that we don't skip our shadow lines. I am going to remove this additional cat here that's facing outward. Half the body was covered with clothing and it just didn't come out quite right. But I will preserve the other cat that's facing towards the photograph. Making sure that we keep our baseboards and our all of our trimming around door frames. I tried so hard to put a baseboard here, but it just was not jiving and my brain was fried. So I skipped it. Anyhow, I threw in some light shading here on the left wall. I ended up changing the shading angle when I paid attention to the shadows. But really, we're just removing any of the clothing or objects that really don't make sense in the photo and then lining it up as best we can. Here's where I go back and change those shadowings. Anyhow, so then we start working on the clutter on the right side above this cabinet. Remove the poster and kind of straighten out the shelf line, making sure we again go back and preserve some of these hard lines like the shelving on the top of the desk. And then we're going to go in and start working on the inside of the shelf. I really wanted to save some of these chronic illness, objects. But then I realized, you know what? That's her story to tell, not mine. So she asked for everything to be removed, and therefore we did it. And so I'm going in, touching up the shadows, but then you see I start working on the inside of these shelving units to kind of give them a more cleaned up look. Not everything is going to be removed. I think that would make it way too sterile of a photo, but I am going to elongate some objects to make it look a little more cleaned up in kind of what I'm touching up here. I go ahead and take out all of these, what looks to be IV fluid bags, and just make it look like the shelving unit is just empty on the right side there. The left side I'm going to go ahead and keep, just because the angles are tricky to work with here, and if I took everything out, it would not look realistic at all. So I'm going to start working on removing the top shelf line things, though, and making sure we preserve those sharp angles, and really try and preserve this IV fluid line, actually, which I don't know why I was such a stickler about that, but I was. So took that out and the flowers out, saved this IV line, and had to redo a couple of the line down lower because it just looked too granulated after I had stripped everything away and just not realistic. And so, all right, now we're going to add in a little special touch here just for Christina. Here is a poster that is very relatable to pretty much anyone with chronic illness understands saving spoons. So we're just going to sneak that in there as a cleanup and a nod to just the journey of being a chronic illness warrior. Okay, so we're going to go back here in the background and just touch up a few things here just to make it look a little cleaner. But for the most part, I'm going to keep everything back in the hallway pretty intact. I'm going to fix the shadow line. I don't know what the heck was going on there, but it needed touched up, so we did that. That's about all I'm going to do for the actual photo part, so let's pull up a before and after so you can see what we did. All right, Christina, we are wishing you all the extra spoons and some kitty cuddles.